What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Double A Hef here with another dose of the Truth Scope. So, I will be using Jesse Lee Peterson's video that he had I guess was it an interview? I'm not even sure if you can call it an interview. It was more like a discussion that he had with this super wokey woke liberal black female. And I'm gonna play the clip, and then y'all see what I'm talking about.
Black children have been raised and are raised by decent black fathers and mothers who are married. Would we have the same situation with the blacks?
I actually find that question so offensive.
Why?
Actually, I'm not quite. Yeah, I do. I'm just not sure. You mean decent black folks who are married, given the fact that research shows that black men who are not married to their children's mothers have more areas of involvement than white men. So my question back to you is, are you asking white folks the same question? Hey, if you had been raised in a—
Okay, so first of all, now the statistics that she's talking about, I'm not familiar with. Now, if that's true, I would have to look at that, because obviously there's numbers don't lie necessarily, but they don't always tell the story. So anyway, you see how quickly she pivoted to white people, right? The question is about the, the state of affairs for quote unquote black, basically black, the community, if you want to call it that. And then the first thing she does is pivot it to quote unquote white people. Now this is freaking liberal black woman 101. And not even just liberal black woman. This is liberal wokey woke 101, And why? It stems from their infatuation with being identified with a color. That's where it comes from. That is their identity, quote unquote black. So now, when anything ever happens or comes up, the first thing they want to do is go and talk about white. Now you notice she's not addressing the question again. You know what I mean? She's not addressing the question. What she's doing is talking about white, which isn't going to address the issues of the quote unquote black community anyway. So anyway, let's play.
different way, would we have the white child that went into the school and shot up the school? He had a married mom and dad who made sure he had access to a gun. He shot into a school. I'm sorry, if you had a decent mom and dad, Cal Rittenhouse, would you have gone and done it? Well, you had a mom who gave you a ride across state lines, and they—
See, and again, look, Kyle Rittenhouse, the charges were dropped. Why? Because again, I made a whole video on that. They weren't going to stick anyway. They weren't going to stick. Okay, he was not in the wrong. That was self-defense 101. So I don't know why you're trying to bring up Kyle Rittenhouse as if he was like some freaking convicted felon. You know what I mean? Like you're not even helping your case. Stay on point, lady. So again, you're trying to bring up Kyle Rittenhouse. He's not a convicted felon. The charges were dropped. Also, Kyle Rittenhouse, his father, his parents were separated. Now, obviously, his father was still in his life, but they were separated. And again, that has nothing to do with the question Jesse asked you. Let me rewind it just a little bit so we can keep it all in context.
if you had been raised in a different way, would we have the white child that went into the school and shot up the school? He had a married mom and dad who made sure he had access to a gun. He shot into a school. I'm sorry, if you had a decent mom.
Yeah, so about that part, because you'll hear a lot of people say things like that, but you have to understand, and I've said this on this channel before, and I'm going to continue to say it. You do not allow the exception to be the rule ever, ever. The exception is the exception, and that's just what it is. So when you have the instances of the for lack of better terms, the perfect nuclear family, and then one of the kids shoots up a school or something like that, you don't go back and say, okay, we need to retweak everything. All right, we got to break down nuclear family because obviously it doesn't work. No, that's not the case at all. You look at the numbers and you say, okay, well, the overwhelming majority of quote unquote perfect nuclear families don't have this happen. Okay, a very very small percent does. So that's just the exception. That's just the human element. Sometimes things are just going to fucking happen, right? Period. Period. So these quote unquote liberals, and what they really are fucking anarchists and Marxists for the most part, and Luciferian. All they want to do is break down order. So they'll try to take anything and say, okay, now this gives me fucking carte blanche to break down all the roles in society. That's all. That's ultimately their ultimate goal. But let's continue.
My dad, Cal Rittenhouse? Would you have gone and done it? Well, you had a mom who gave you a ride across state lines and made sure you had an AR-15 to blow people away. The questions that you're asked, I think we need to turn them around and make sure we're asking them out as well. Because black folks, no, I'm saying you said decent black folks.
Why take a question and turn it around and go out, huh? Because why do that? Why do that? Now, I don't expect you to have the answer, quote unquote, liberal woman. I don't. I really don't. I'm not asking you the question because I know you don't have the answer, obviously. But I'm speaking to my audience right now. Why, right? If we're gonna listen to this chick, why the hell would you do that? If you have an issue, why would you turn it around and point it outwards when the resolution is gonna come from within? Whatever problems you have going on in your life, that's just gonna get solved through you from within. Period. You don't go out looking for someone to solve your fucking problems. And if that's what you're doing with your life, then that would explain why you have so many fucking problems. You with me?
Married. I'm sorry, we have more involvement from black men in the lives of their children than any other race.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that study, and I talked about it on my show. The black men have become like black women. They are doing the woman's job. They're nurturing the child. They're feeding them. They're doing that, and that's not a normal state of being for men. And it's because the black men have been turned into black women. And the black women are out there pretending to be men. So I do know about that. And so that is still a weak state for the men, that they are now acting like the mama. They're acting like the black woman.
So again, I'm not familiar with that study or statistics or anything like that. If any of you know it, want to drop the link for brothers to check out or whatever the case may be, that'd be awesome. But again, to his point, and I've been saying this on the channel, the black men. Well, first of all, I hesitate to say quote unquote black men because the majority of them aren't men. They're males, but they don't know how to be men. And then what they do is they literally, like he said, they relinquish their duties and their role to the quote unquote black woman. That's what they do, and they become like freaking Miss Doubtfire. You know what I'm saying? The fucking the chick done left you, found Pierce Brosnan. You know what I'm saying? They going out to eat fancy restaurants, and you over here dressed like a woman, spying on them and shit. That's what the quote unquote black males are nowadays. Like, and again, not all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not all, but most. No, I'm joking. But seriously, not all, but too many, far too many. And that's not how. Look, if you have the woman leading, then listen, man. You just, I'm not. I don't want to go anywhere where she's leading you because it's only going to be to your and her demise. Period. Period. If you're out there following women, you out there, she's leading your damn household, then you know what? Look, man, you deserve what you get. Okay.
I mean, this is just stupid at this point. I'm sorry. That's actually probably quite asinine what you just said. The idea that I mean, to think, and I'm assuming because I'm looking at you as a black man, for you to think nurturing a child, supporting a child, being actively involved in the life of a child is the mama's work. It's like that is foolish.
But men don't nurture, man.
She's missing the point. I think that my viewers, I think you guys get what he was saying. Look, obviously, as parents, so any of y'all that have kids, you take like for instance, my son. I take care of my son. Right? Am I gonna sit here and say I don't take care of my son? Of course not. However, like there's certain roles and expectations when it comes to taking care of my son. And with his mother, there's things that he gets from his mother, and there's things that he gets from me. We don't do the same thing. You know what I mean? That's not my vocation. And to be quite honest with you, he's not looking to me for that. Even he knows, and even he understands. And I know that he's very young already, but these children, man, you can tell pretty much what they're thinking and what's going on up there. And I'm telling you, he knows what to expect from who. So I'm pretty sure it's already ingrained up in there. So again, like what Jesse's saying, these dudes are out here, with the roles reversed and shit like that, and it's confusing. But we already understand that that's part of the modus operandi. It's to literally bring chaos, bring disorder, confusion. 'Cause that's how they freaking break everything the fuck down. So we cannot be surprised by this. You know what I'm saying? They've been running the same play for mad long, all right? They just keep running the same play. The play's over. They look at the quarterback. The quarterback just takes his finger and twirls it around in the air like, yeah, we're gonna run that same play again, and they just keep running the same fucking play on us. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it seems to be working because motherfuckers is confused. All right, confused to the point where when I make videos like this, and I guarantee you, in like a week or two, let's look at the comment section of this video. So if you watch this video today, come back in like 2 weeks and just look at the damn comments. You're gonna see a whole bunch of quote unquote wokey woke liberal ass dudes out here like, oh, you talk about the Black Queen and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And all these other dudes like, oh, like the comment. I can't even keep up with this shit. But I guarantee you, instead of them listening and trying to understand what I'm saying, they're just gonna get defensive and they get all emotional, and then literally continue with the chaos that's destroying the community that they supposedly love.
But we now know, no, we now understand that it actually takes complete involvement from both the mama and the daddy, if you just want to take it down to that level, who are both nurturing, who are both supporting, who are both pouring into the lives of children. Providing is not just the daddy's job. It's a job that belongs to both. If you're going to look at it from a biblical sense, women were also actively involved in making sure they took care of home. I mean, we could talk about that as
Yeah, first of all, once she brought up biblical, she doesn't. It's a wrap. Because I can tell you right now, this woman doesn't know shit about the goddamn Bible. I can tell you right now, this woman doesn't know shit about the goddamn Bible, yet she's going to try to reference the Bible. Okay, let's see where this goes.
PK, we can go down that road. We can go back to the 1930s when men went off to war and women picked up the rod to make sure the households were moving together. We can talk.
They didn't have a choice. They didn't have a choice. Like, what kind of dumb shit is that? What if all the men are off to war, right? Which was the case back then. You don't have a choice but to pick up the quote unquote rod. You don't have a. That's what you have to do. That's your duty. The fuck you think this? Like, what kind of? See, these people, they think that because I have a degree in this, I have a degree in that, that I'm so intelligent, and no, that does not make you intelligent. That's not what that means. And I'm not trying to downplay or begrudge anyone that has degrees in any one of those fields, especially like I believe she has a degree in like psychology or something like that I was reading. But I digress. No, wait. I think her degree's in like African studies, because if you watch the full interview in the beginning, she goes over her degree. She has a degree in like African studies or something like that. She's a professor. Uh, I'm sorry, I'm freaking slaying that right now, but you could watch the full video and you'll see. But anyway, I'm not trying to downplay people that go to school and do all that. That's what you want to do. Get a job. Hey, support your family. By all means, I'm not trying to stop you from doing that. You got to put food on your plate, and keep a roof over your head. However, that does not mean that you know what the fuck you're talking about. And in this instance, she does not know what the fuck she's talking about. For those women had to pick it up, because what was the alternative if they didn't? Exactly my point. So don't sit here and say, "Oh, women been freaking, supporting and providing all this time," and then reference a time where like the men weren't even there.
About the fact that unfortunately in our environment, when we look at pay scales, even though Black women are woefully underpaid in comparison to white women and white men, Asian men and Asian.
You see that, brothers? Do you see that? I'm going to rewind it. And I want you to pay attention to who she's comparing the pay wage and the pay scale of quote unquote Black women to.
unfortunately, in our environment, when we look at pay scales, even though Black women are woefully underpaid in comparison to white women and white men, and Asian women, the idea that
She didn't even say black man. She didn't even say black man. She said white men, white women, Asian men and women. You know, like didn't even say your black ass. Why? Because they not concerned about your black ass. The only time the liberal quote unquote blacks or the liberals in general are concerned about your black ass is when you are dead and they can spend that shit to further their agenda somehow. That's the only time you have value to them. You understand me? And as far as the pay scale goes, there's been so many freaking conversations and statistics that break this down. It goes based off of the jobs that you choose ultimately. Ultimately, there's no freaking discrimination, overt discrimination when it comes to pay. It's that simple. You want higher paying jobs, you have to open up your availability to other jobs. If you want to limit yourself, like for instance, I read a study and it was saying that I think it was like what 70%. I'm not sure if it was 70, so don't quote me, but it was a very very high percent. I think it was at least half, if not more than half, of quote unquote black women that go to school all come out with a degree in the same damn field. Okay, so what that means is just based off of that, right? What we can come to conclude is, hey, they're oversaturating that market. One, so now it's less competitive. So you're not going to be making that much money. Bada boom, bada bing. Done. So you can't freaking go and complain about not, oh the pay scales. No. You have to look at job for job. Okay, job for job. Are they doing the same jobs?
you need to have at least one person bringing in an income level that's on par with their white counterparts. And we don't have that with either our men or our women. I don't think our men pouring into the lives of the church. I don't think that's weak, and I don't think
When
that's
I was
mama's
growing
work.
up, boys were boys and men were men. This was
That doesn't
prior
mean
to the
it's
civil rights
boy.
movement, all that, right? The
That
the
doesn't
men, the
mean
black
that
men,
boys are boys and men are men. That means
the black men and women knew their role in life given to them by God.
Chop, you're making stuff
And
up
now,
if you're talking about the roles from God, are you kidding me? I mean, if you want to debate the Bible when it comes to roles,
First of all, it's not a debate. All he did was make a statement. Okay, and then before you're trying to reference the Bible, now you're saying, oh, you're trying to bring up roles from God. Are you kidding me? You were just talking like you a biblical goddamn guru and shit. So let's see where this goes.
let's talk about Deborah.
are
Let's
you a
talk about
Christian?
Ruth. Let's talk about judges who were women. Yes, I'm
And
a
so,
Christian. So we want to go down the road of the Bible. Let's go all the way
do
back.
you believe God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children? You believe that order?
I believe that there's a through line that God has set up with God as the head, and then you have the household going
And
in
you
that
believe
direction.
Oh, you see that right there, and that's what I've done a 2-part series before in the past, and a 3-part series on women preaching the Bible, and that's the issue that you'll see oftentimes with these liberal women. They always want to be like, oh yeah, God's at the top, and then it's the household, and no, 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 no. It's God, then it's man, then it's women and children, and women and children are like on the same level. So it's God, man, women, children, like that. All right, and it's for a reason. And honestly, if you take a good look, it won't take you that long to see why. All right, that's the way it is. Men are leaders. Men lead. Women do not. Like I said before, uh, maybe I said in this video, or I said I definitely said in other videos. If you following a woman, she's gonna lead you to some shit. All right, to your demise, most likely.
I believe also that with a man that it becomes a partnership. The man is not there to rule over the woman. When a wife submits to her husband, submission as from the Bible does not mean control. Submission means to bring things into order. Households must have an
So, yeah, bring things in. It's funny how she's contradicting herself, right? So let me just rewind it so you can see.
over the woman. When a wife submits to her husband, submission, as from the Bible, does not mean control. Submission means to bring things into order. Households must have an order.
Yeah, and the order is like I just fucking said. The order is, but you were just trying to say that. Oh no, it's a partnership. No, that's not the order. That's not the order. So you don't even know how to submit based off your own goddamn interpretation of it, right? So look, women are basically property. Now I understand there's a lot of wokey wokes that are like, oh my god, he did not just say that, and and be clickety clacking all up in the comments. But listen, if you don't believe me, right, we could do a very very quick experiment on this. If you're a woman, right? Actually, not a woman. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to the brothers out there. So listen, your mother, right? What is your mother's last name? Now, your mother's last name, right, is probably going to be, well, if your parents are married, your father's last name, right? They will share the same last name, but the last name came from him, right? So they share that last name, but she got it from him. If she doesn't have your father's name, she might have her father's last name still. You with me so far? And then her mother, again, probably has her father's name or her father's. Not all right. That's a little confusing. If I had a chart, it'd be much easier. But if you're able to stick with me here, basically, when the woman takes a name, and this happens even nowadays, a lot of women are like, oh, I'm not gonna take the name of my husband or whatever. I'm gonna hyphenate it or whatever it is that they do and all that bullshit. But at the same time, you still have the name of a man, whether it's your husband or not. Your last name is not yours. You do not own it. It came from a man. You understand? Because that's the property. So when it passes, now you take that person's last name because now you are the property of this person. Women, look back in history, have always been viewed as property. Now, obviously, very, very valuable property. I'm not sitting here trying to, marginalize women at all because obviously they are a necessity and they are beautiful. But that's the reality of it. We must not, allow the confusion to come in. All right. And to start, that's when the chaos comes in. All right. So that's why we have to understand these very basic things. I'm not sitting here saying this to go out there and start talking all crazy to your woman or shit like that, or just any woman in general. No, hell no, hell the fuck no. If that's what you're thinking, and if that's what you're trying to get from this video, then nigga, you done fucked up. All right, you don't rewind this shit from the beginning. And actually, no. Leave this video, go back to my first video, press play, and then watch them all till you get back to this point. All right. But yeah, I'm not trying to give people the green light to just go out there and start getting disrespectful and shit like that. That's not what this is about. All right. And as a man, that shouldn't even be on your mind. You should be trying to better yourself, to better your community, and do the most. Well, not do the most, but do the best to appease and serve the Most High. Very simple.
Obey your husband?
Do I obey my husband? Okay, so now let me ask you, what direction?
No. See, you see the tap dancing going around. Do I obey my husband?
Households must have an order.
Do you obey your husband?
Do I obey my husband? Okay, so now let me ask you, what direction are we going in?
So the answer to that question is no. You're a liberal, quote unquote, black woman, and the answer to that question is no. You do not obey your husband, and also what that means is there's no way in hell you're going to say that on this interview. So that goes back to Jesse's point. That goes back to Jesse's ultimate point, which is the order and the issues and the confusion, and how quote unquote black men are acting like black women. Because I can assure you one thing: if Brittany was to get on any kind of interview and be asked that question, she knows how to respond to that question. Yes, I do. And not can you repeat the question, or let me repeat the question? No. She knows and understands because that's what it is. All right? There's no confusion here. I lead this shit. Period. Full stop. So the fact that, again, that she's over here like, what? Let me ask you this. No. That was a yes or no question. And you know what? Your husband probably somewhere watching this, looking like a goddamn fool. Like, oh well, you know, we kind of got like a partnership going on. Like, come on, nigga, sit the fuck down.
Now, are we talking about Black mommy activists or my own personal life?
Because in my
own personal life, I am a happily married woman to a Christian man. I'm a Christian woman. I'm a Christian mother, and I'm raising 2 sons as Christians.
You don't know what it means to be a Christian, first of all. So stop with all the bullshit, all right? And again, you're not answering the damn question, but y'all see this though, right? Y'all see this. All the degrees in the world, she can't answer a simple ass fucking question. Wanna know what? Look, she shouldn't be speaking to Jesse right now. This shouldn't even really be happening. But because we live in a society that we do, it is happening, and I'm using this to illustrate the point. And the overall point here is, one, women shouldn't be taken seriously for the most part. They shouldn't. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, especially the liberal ones. But the overwhelming majority of them are liberal. So no, do not take them seriously. All they're trying to do is bring disorder, chaos, and confusion, man. That's it. Whether they're fully aware of that or not, whether they fully understand how I see it or not, that's what they're doing. All right?
It's 23 years. Whether or not I obey my husband has nothing to do with understanding what it means to co-parent, co-raise, and pour into the lives. I mean, it's just asinine now. Like, I think you're just making stuff up. It actually has, you're making stuff up maybe to get a rise, because you cannot tell me deep in your heart that you actually believe what you're asking.
I know for a fact and without a doubt, unless black people return to the order of God, God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children, it's not going to work.
All right, well said, Jesse. But yeah, that's pretty much all on that one. That chick was fucking batshit crazy, but I'm sure I expected that, because once you ever get a liberal black woman, that's pretty much what they all are, you know, batshit crazy. They're gonna start saying a whole bunch of nonsense. So yeah, brothers, we can't fall for the okie doke no more. All right, we have to keep it real simple, you know, and your life will be far better off. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. All right. But yo, stay up, be well. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. That's how you know I haven't been making videos in a minute. I haven't even been saying that on the videos I've been making, and it's the tail end of this. But yeah, definitely please like, share, subscribe. You know, all that good stuff. You know, drop some words in the comments, whatever. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what else is going on y'all might want me to talk about in your area, because obviously I don't know what's going on across the whole damn country. So if there's something going on in your area that you want some light shown on, you know what, let me know. But anyway, y'all, that's it. I'm out.